Grace and peace. Hopefully my volume is decent. And besides the volume, hopefully I'm not freezing up too much. Y'all already know I've been in Airbnb here, Airbnb there. I'm gonna wait for a couple of people to jump on. Y'all just tell me if you see or just put a one down in the chat. You know what I often say. Put a one down in the chat. I'm gonna leave a message later on. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go relax a little bit. Good to see you. Oh boy, brother Rodney, Joe's daughter. This guy last night up in that Patreon meeting. I don't know what to say about him and that Perry Israel. Y'all something else with it. But it was definitely good. Shout out to sister to the sister Hicks that jumped on there, Sister Fisher, and so many other people. Grace and peace, Pastor. Good to see you. Why am I bothering this guy? Listen, Pastor, I want to say something. A lot of people been coming around. A lot of people been coming around. You know, my African brothers and sisters. We got some Haitian brothers and sisters and people from different cultures that weren't actually born in America that don't know certain things. They're asking me about spiritual spouses. And you know, they're hearing some African pastors teaching on spiritual spouses and stuff like that. And where does that play a role in the Bible? I'm telling you, these young folks, maybe because the world is getting smaller and we have the internet and stuff like that. So maybe because we're running across different cultures, we're hearing and we're seeing some things that's alarming, that's different from some people. And they wanna put everything in the Bible. They want to understand everything in the light of the Bible. And I think it's safe to say that there's a lot of people that don't understand that Israel, they were influenced by their cosmology and stuff. They were influenced by people around them. Now, some people say when you're dealing with spiritual spouses, the shamas, not all Indians, but some Indians, different people, wise men around the world would have what some would attempt to squeeze into the text and say are familiar spirits. And we're going to get into the sexual part of it too, you know, from some people would want to consider soul ties. It's kind of deep, but some people would say on a surface level it's definitely not scripture, but others would tend to argue on that. Some say what spiritual spouse would be the spouse of a shaman, one of the wise men or the mystics. When they're going into the spiritual realm, they have a being that's always there for them. Now we got to ask a couple of questions. One is, are there different beings, male and female, in the spirit realm? Before we get into Lilith, before we get into all of that other stuff, because I'm not even going to be on here too long with y'all, but I'm going to give y'all something to think about and how people want to use certain things in light of the Bible. What do you do with the spirit? The lady said, the night wife. Yes, yes, exactly. Thank you, Rodney, like a night wife. The lady said that when her husband died, immediately a spirit used to come and ride her. Talking about sexual now. A spirit used to come and ride, and we have traditions with this coming out of Judaism and all of these other almost every culture. And her friend said, "Well, listen, that's your husband. You got to tell him he's gone. He's on the other side. Don't come back now." And she was like, "Well, what am I supposed to do?" She said, "When he come back in the room to get him some, you got to cuss him." Call him all type of dirty, foul languages. And he came back to get some. She said she felt something up underneath her skirt, and, making her warm or whatever, up underneath her sheets, making her warm. And she got up and she started cussing him. "Oh, you dirty man, such and some foul language." And she said the foul language ran him off and he never came back. Now, of course, the believers are coming to me and asking me, "Well, what do you think about that?" What can I say? These are manifestations. These are manifestations of beings. How do you see the spirit realm? The shaman said that they were good people and they would be a wife, and sometimes they're jealous. I'll tell y'all about the whole ayahuasca thing with the brother, and said that she's a jealous spirit. You shouldn't have smoked weed, and then came around here to the ritual to drink the ayahuasca. Then the beings start fighting, he start throwing up. But going back to this thing, a lot of people, a lot of mystics, Indians, and different people welcome them. "Oh, my wife, she coming to get some." and it seems to be a spirit that's connected with sexuality to some. But they make things happen for you in the spirit realm. If a neighbor come and they need money, listen, go get some cardi, go get a cigar, go get some of them leaves down there by the river and bring a piece of fish, half cooked fish from your meal tonight and bring it down here. And you need to put some oranges out there and all of that stuff. Then you start letting some smoke go up. Back to that sage stuff and all of these other practices now. And we're gonna perform a ritual and we're gonna see what this being have to say. And that's how we know it in among some people in Native America. But when we start dealing with spirit husbands and wives in Africa and among some different countries, there's people that say that these are spirits that just like you. Just like you know somebody goes, oh man, that's a fine girl right there. Spirit can just see you. That's a handsome man. A spirit could see you in the gym and just follow you home and attach itself to you. Or through watching TV, you could see a picture of a girl on TV and you'll start thinking about her in the mind and automatically a spirit will start coming to you. It can manifest itself. There's shapeshifters. They'll come in the form of this girl. They'll come in the form of that girl. Sometimes they come on the scene immediately after someone dies. Oh, thank you, sucker buster, and all of that other stuff. Now, the problem is, what do we do with these things in light of the Bible? If the Bible, because the lady was upset, she said, my pastor started speaking on, he brought a pastor in, African pastor, and he started speaking on it. He wanted to break that spirit off of some people. Now, if he's an evangelist that come from Africa and he's breaking that spirit, and a few ladies went up there, maybe they horny, they don't have a husband, excuse me, y'all, and they just get, sometimes they touch themselves, they've been single for a little while, or whatever the situation is. But a few of them went up there to get freed from these spirits, and people were offended. What do we do with that? What do we do with that? Before I start anything, because they be like, Marine, the stuff, them folk don't need to talk about it, but they're talking about it anyway. They're bringing it up anyway, so it's not like I'm any type of troublemaker. People are asking questions, and people are hearing stories, and maybe they don't want to go to their regular pastor, but they're bringing stuff up, and they're saying strange things. What do we do with that? On top of that, in the Bible, we do have, like someone just put up there, that whole succubus, incubus thing, and the story of Lilith. After the book of Genesis was written, transference of spirit rebuke, and I like Ron. I like Ron. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. After the book of Genesis was written, tradition came about, and a lot of feminist people are using it now when we're hearing more and more of it, of Adam's other wife, Lilith. Some people want to split up Genesis 1 and 2 and say God made man. Good to see you, Perry. God made man and woman and they were equal. And that was the first story. And there was another story in Genesis when God made man and saw that man was alone. Then man went to sleep. Then he made Eve. That was Adam's second wife because Adam's first wife wasn't acting right. She wanted to, she was like, why you always got to get on top? I want to get on top for change. And they end up getting an argument. And for some strange reason, she flew away. God sent some angels. Go back down and get that crazy woman from the other side of the garden, wherever she went at. And she didn't want to come back. She told God she didn't want to come back. So apparently, some traditions say that a curse was placed on her. Something was placed on her, and in the midst of that curse or whatever being placed on her, she became a night demon or the mother of night demons. Some people would say. Later on in life, people said that that was a story that just came around, and when people, especially in the 1800s and stuff, when a lot of children were dying from sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, or kids would be born, or 2 weeks later, parents would find them dead in their crib. They don't know if they should lay them on the back, on their side, whatever. The children were dying. Some people claim the spirit came and sucked the breath out of them, or whatever. And other people said that spirit, she wanted to get on top. That's a feminine spirit. That's a feminine energy. And Lilith wanted to get on top. And Lilith is the spirit, and this spirit is the spirit that come and ride men in the evening to give them orgasms, young boys, to give them what we would call wet dreams and stuff like that. Where this fit in the Bible, if you want to put it in the Bible, people have seen it in the Bible. People have seen it in our traditions. People have seen it in our traditions, and we've been seeing it the world over. They wanted to know what to do with that when a pastor from Africa or somewhere come and want to pray and break those spirits. And more people are getting upset. The world is getting smaller, and we're seeing things, especially as pastors invite other people from different cultures. And you have African pastors writing books on it. And apparently, it's something that's really believed, it's really practiced in Africa. Some people say a lot of people over here have things riding them, wake up, super horny or feeling erections or feeling some type of, sexual arousal and stuff like that. And it's coming from these spirits attempting to make contact with us. Like I said, there's so much stuff, and then in leadership, a lot of people like Rare D folk don't need to be confused with nothing else. They need to learn the basics of the Bible. So I'm not sure how we're going to deal with that. These Christians in America love these. What the pastor said, love these African boy. You better know it. And that's a. I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm gonna leave him alone right there. Oh man, why when Israel come up in here something? That's a whole nother thing. And because we have to ask ourselves, Pastor, are these people legit when they're bringing these pastors and they're mixing Bible and Hebrew tradition with other things? That's been around in Africa that come down from the Cushites and other people that come down from other traditions that deal with the spiritual realm. Other people say it's okay because I've been dealing with these manifestations, or are we just playing ourselves? I'm gonna try to read a couple of comments. Like I said, I'm gonna get away. I guess I'll explain it tomorrow morning before I actually turn my phone off. I'm gonna get away for a little while, and we're gonna pray because a lot of stuff is coming up, and there's a lot of stuff to deal with, and people are being confused with these other spirits and these other tales and these other stories. A lot of this have to do with weaving. This is where the confusion is coming in. A lot of this have to do with weaving with other traditions. It hurts me to see when people talking about, they talking about saging and people arguing over this and that. It hurts me how we have so many different traditions that's coming into writ, and a lot of us don't even have um discernment. This is not our tradition. This doesn't come from us in the book. This is something else. So everything is just coming. Eastern, the doors open up to Eastern meditation, yoga. We doing everything in the church. We already had Freemasonry that was built off of many occult traditions and teachings from all over. And these guys that's been Masons, a lot of them been pastors and deacons and part of leadership in the church, and a lot of that has been problems coming down. So right now we're dealing with a lot of spirits and stuff, and people don't know it's coming from all type of African traditions. Do we have other traditions that's come down in the church, in the different movement? Y'all better be careful too when we start dealing with this awakening, because to keep it 100 with y'all, a lot of y'all don't know a lot of stuff y'all want to do. Some of the other folk want to do quoting Bible. It ain't nothing but Talmud. You got Talmudic witchcraft that we call Kabbalah and all of this stuff. And all of this witchcraft is in every spiritual system. And it just surprises me how I'm seeing so much of it creeping in through Hebrew roots movement. Some people trying to pick up some of this, and it ain't nothing but, and y'all looking at the curly hair people thinking that they so deep in deep meditation. And what that fool told me, Jesus was a Kabbalist. You don't understand. I'm like, well, the devil is a liar. Y'all gonna stop that madness. Not the king. Y'all gotta practice that to try to go into that realm. Everybody doing something, Jason, trying to get into that realm. Everybody doing something busy trying to get into that realm, and they're trying to make contact with us. So where do we go with teaching it? I find it's trouble because I can't just tell this girl, you leave them spiritual spouses alone. Listen, anything come up in that room, you guess how you got to be led by the Ruach, the Spirit of God. When the Holy Spirit's leading you, you can just listen. You feel something's not right, Holy Spirit just start telling you to pray. Holy Spirit ain't getting into that. That's old great Baba. That's Baba from down by the river. He used to get into your grandmother. The Holy Spirit ain't getting into all of that. Holy Spirit just get you to praying. Just get you to praying, just lead you into some worship, lead you into stuff, and they're like, all right, I feel that, I sense it, I don't know what's going on, but it's time to get down. It's warfare time. Something is happening. And I'm just gonna do whatever. So if he's leading you to pray, if he's leading you to worship, we gotta know how to be sensitive to the spirit, because there's so many spirits at work. There's so much stuff at work. And a lot of these pastors and the prophets, oh man, this is why I gotta go sit down somewhere. A lot of people that's supposed to be our gatekeepers, our seers, and our guides, they want to open themselves up to bring y'all deeper revelation. And in all actuality, it's not deeper revelation, it's how to open up a portal. They're giving you something from somewhere else. But the pastor bringing them in, because with them come that money spirit from those other orders, for the other beings, and they can raise an offering. Popularity and raising an offering in church is important. So your pastor will bring, I heard this person is a good person right here. This person can raise a good offering. This person's anointing. They got new, fresh anointing. Hey, anything new, you got to be careful. Anything, I'm gonna tell y'all now, this may not sound good, but all this new stuff, all this new anointing, all this, y'all gotta go to the east and get the oil and spin the rag there. I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute, what happened to the name? What happened to the blood? What happened to what grandma named used to use? We gotta use new stuff? I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I'm not feeling a lot of stuff that's going on. Others would say, well, it's good just to put it out there to let them know there's different spiritual teachings, and you have to let them know all these things. A lot of y'all don't have to waste time in the consciousness and all the nonsense I come out of. Y'all don't have to waste time in there if you're just being led, because you're gonna go all around. That's why I'm telling people, I'm gonna drag y'all to Osiris. I'm gonna drag y'all to that voodoo. I'm gonna drag y'all to knock him out. You're gonna drag you back to the feet of the cross. That's where you're gonna be at anyway. That's who the king is. That's what you're gonna end up being anyway. It's rough, but like we were saying, like my sister Fisher was in the room last night, and she's something else too. She in seminary, and she was asking questions, and she was just giving it from a younger person's point of view. I think she's in her early 30s. Oh Lord, I said her age. Sorry if you weren't in. And she, we were just talking in the group and stuff like that. And she brought some stuff out. And young folk, they want to go in, but they want to know stuff. They want information. Maybe because they're growing up with the internet. Internet and YouTube been around here for a minute, so maybe because they're growing up with it, they expect us to come and keep it 100 them and tell me about this right here. And they want you to unpack it. I'm like, what is the, come on, that's some stuff that other traditions talk about on the other side of the world and blah, da, 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 da. And they just sitting there like, and they want you to unpack it more. They want to make it make sense to them. And this is why I say, people, let's get together and talk. How are we gonna work it for them and make it make sense to them, and so they can go forth, because they really want to witness. They really want to stand up for what they believe, and they really want to get among their peers. And this is why I stand on what I believe. And they want to be able to expound. And with that, I can't be mad. Just to keep breaking it down from layers from the truth out. It's levels to it. It's like an onion. We got to keep peeling it down. I've been saying for a minute, I think, we got apologists, we got this, we got that, we got a whole bunch of stuff outside of the five. We need people that can give you some research. I find some people sometimes they're getting into too many books and then walking away from their relationship. They're just into knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. And you can get high off of knowledge and knowing stuff. We just need wisdom, Brown, in the way we're giving it to them and the way we're explaining it to them, because so much stuff is being bombarded on our people. I don't know in 150 years what is a Bible believer going to look like? A Shama? What are Christians going to have next? Voodoo dolls up in the crib? What are Israel? What y'all finna do? What y'all getting ready to have? Voodoo dolls? Y'all are there. These other folk already tell y'all Yahweh had a wife. They said, oh, there's plenty of people in Israel believe that Yahweh had a wife, and the feminine energy that they giving y'all that comedic stuff, and it's a lot out here. It's a lot out here, y'all. Be careful, but that whole Lilith thing, all of that's connected, but that's for deeper studies. It's connected with spiritual warfare. Do people have spirits that ride them in the evening? Do people get up and they have? Is it really even spiritual? You open up your eyes. If you ever open up your eyes and you find yourself can't move right away, there's something riding you, something holding you down. People want to know about these different phenomena. How's the stuff working with my mind? Is it just stuff in my mind and grandma and them was spooked out by it and we have to understand certain things, or is it spirituality and people are trying to understand it in light of science? Because you remember Blavatsky and them, they already said that the religion was going to turn into a science. It's the mixing of science and religion and everything together. So more and more people, they want to know about haunted homes. They want to know about bending spoons. They want to know about the power of levitation, and just you can just be a smarter person. But know when you're really smart, you should be able to communicate with another heavy person or using telepathy and all of this other stuff. And like I said, Kabbalah and the mysteries ain't helping us at all. Mellow, this thing is going progress. This thing is going way, way, way somewhere where I'm afraid a lot of these pastors aren't prepared to go. Some pastors may say just don't worry about it, but the young folk want you to unpack some stuff. So I'm gonna go away and I'm just gonna lay up and pray. I'm gonna just figure out what's what, cause there's a lot to come out here and there's a lot to give them, and you don't want to confuse people. Sister Smith, we were supposed to chop it up the other night. I'm not sure if you're getting the codes, and we don't want to. we don't want to confuse people, but the people having questions. And I remember grandma and them used to say curiosity killed the cat, but we got to really figure the way that we're gonna go and the way that we're gonna give them stuff. My sister's gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna try to talk to my sister tonight, and I'm gonna hit my man Brown up, and we're gonna come back with some, we're gonna come back with some stuff. But everything ain't for everybody. Patreon people, I see the level that a lot of them are on, and some of them will say, well, Brian, I'll deal with this class, I'll deal with that class. But there's a lot of believers that's been in the grid for a while, and they're open and they understand we're coming in contact with people with different cultures, and people are challenging us at the water fountain, on the job. People want to know at school, at work, at the cookout, other family members coming from different places, and they challenging us. Like, the other brother came, he wanted to shook the whole family up. He's like, man, I'm down at the Mall Science Temple. And grandma and everybody looking in, and he come talking that talk. If they come and bother him as Christian cousins, he got some questions for them, and he got some statements to make. And it's gonna bother them. Told y'all the street king was out there, and the first lady wanted to head up, and she was just looking nice, had her hair and stuff done, and she was getting out there talking, and they hit up with the 151st Psalm, the dreading them. Hit up with Psalms 151, and she was like, that ain't even, and then she pulled it up on her phone. They saw from the stupid look, they saw from her face, she had that stupid look. And she grew up in church, and she would have passed a wife. And she found out it's 151st Psalms. It's a lot. I'm gonna try to read some of these comments. It's just, I'm not gonna lie, the young folk got me shaking my head. I'm very concerned about them. But I know they mean good. Like the sister said, we in seminary. She like, yeah, we in seminary. We want to defend what we believe. We want to be down with ministry. We want to do this. We want to do that. But it's a lot with them, Rev C. It's a lot with them. Let me see some of this. Oh, is that Rob Moses? Where Rob Moses telling us the royal priesthood? Where Rob Moses? If you don't get them pictures together, I'm getting out of here for a few days, and I think I'll probably leave Philly tomorrow or something like that. On the next day, I'm gonna try to see if I can get down to over there to the mother church. But I got some footage. I might be able to pull some stuff together. That's a whole nother heavy thing, bringing out Prince Hall, and and the Freed African Society, and how we've always had strange rituals wrapped up with the Bible. And like I said, we're coming to a place where a lot of people want to separate themselves from some stuff. They want to just know, is this pure writ right here? Is this tradition, or is this the other stuff coming in? And so much other stuff has come in. I think we got to beware the leaven of the Pharisees, and the leaven of the Pharisees is among us. And it's coming by popular preachers and prophets and TBN. Ain't wasn't no help. 700 day stuff. That wasn't really, I'm sorry, y'all, that wasn't really no help. That wasn't really no help at all. Good to see you, Rod. Let me try to read some of these. Grace and peace, Eric. Let me try to read some of these comments right here. Folks studying more, and they're praying and fasting, and that's on both sides. I agree with you, Pastor Major. It's crazier than people think. You got to really be in Christ to study this madness, the level of madness. And even through, I like what Jason's saying, and even through the studying, and even through the reading. Like I heard the other pastor say, he said, man, I bought them books. He was talking about, I bought some of them. He said, the Spirit told him to burn them things up. That the Spirit told him to get rid of that. At least you remember, just use it for research and just quote here, and there. I'll tell you, the other lady walked about office, she saw them books, and she turned around, and she was like, and she never came back again. Like, what's the problem? Like, there's research stuff. There's some stuff really, really scared people. The only book that I read, of course, that I never really kept was that Satanic Bible. But outside of that, Blavatsky and this madness, I'm seeing it steep in the church. I'm seeing it steep with preachers. I'm seeing it steep with prophets and portals, and opening up stuff, and using their energies, and drawing and commanding. And that's all magic is. I got, I I got to get Apostle Jenkins on. I gotta get him on. He done a good series. Y'all, if y'all anybody's friends with us on Facebook, y'all gotta go check him out. He excellent series on sorcery and just the works of the flesh. And a lot of people confused and got some questions about some stuff. That's some very good stuff. And we need that deeper teaching. It's like some people are hungry for it, but they're just going in the wrong place, and they going to some of these so-called prophets and stuff, and they opening up some other stuff. They just picking up stuff from Africa. They just picking up some other spiritual systems and bringing them on in. And they thinking, oh, this is part of the school of the prophets. This is the next level of the prophethood, so they can just get you, spook you out to come to a class. Come to my deep class for my mantle to be on You go ahead and pick up something they went and picked up when they went over there to Africa. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Let me get out of here. I'm gonna get on. Like I said, I'm gonna get on in the morning and stuff. It's a bunch, but we gonna come back. I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna just go get a little bit more direction. I'm gonna just fine tune some stuff. And people got questions. And one thing I got is a lot of pastor kids out there, a lot of saints kids out there. And they're looking at things and they're comparing things and they're just like, let me understand this thing properly. And they really want to do it. And some people, as the light shine in their path, as they understand it's A, B, C, and D, oh, I gotta put that down. People were shocked. Jamal Bryant, even him, everybody, he said he went to research it. A lot of people shocked how believers just riding out with sage and blessing them because they seeing other people doing it. They seeing rappers and singers doing it. They want to be blessed up and they'll hear people. They'll hear people like that's DJ Khaled. They'll hear people talking about blessings and people want to know, blessings sound good? Part of this nonsense came in with Snoop and them saying church and all of this stuff. So people want whatever's in the church. Ain't never been in church day in their life, maybe one or two times. And they want to start giving and they want to start using terminologies and how do you get blessed? And then you got the Obia man over there. When you get blessed, you get a candle and you got to understand you need the beads. And then when you got the beads, you say certain names. You call your grandmother if you want her to bless. Now you got the beads, Mary, you got the beads at the Catholic Church. Use that. You calling your grandmama. And then you going to try to order some sage and you going to the health food store because you want to get some weight up. I'm getting out of here, y'all. I'm getting out of here. I'm scratching my head. It's a lot. We used to just be believers and be simple back in the days, but this internet has called Mike Shaw. There's a hot, thank you. Mike Shaw said it best. It's a hot minute. Internet done did something crazy. Then we got other people attempting to be teachers and bring things out here. They have no idea what in the world they talking about. It's real out here. It's real out here, and I can definitely say that I'm worried for the people of God, but we got to get information out here. We got to talk. I know with our Patreon people last night we were talking. Some people said, I didn't know so many people are under the impressions that pastors are actually, a lot of pastors are keeping the people like they're not serving up a lot of good food. Let's just put it that way. They're serving some emotionalism and they're serving the basics. It's so hurtful how they say a lot of people, a lot of believers can't even work out what is salvation. What does salvation mean to you? What is salvation according to the writ when we say that someone's walking in the ways of God? Someone's a follower of Christ. What does it mean to you? So many people steep in the church for a long time can't even articulate what the gospel is and just show 4, 5, or 6 scriptures in its context to explain that. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I don't know what we gonna do. Well, we gotta pray. We gotta pray. It's a lot, and there's a lot of teachings that need to be brought forth, and it needs to. And God showed me this a minute ago. Service needs to be like a college dorm room. Laptops need to be opened up. We gonna worship. We gonna sing. We gonna call on His name. But we gonna sit down. We gonna open up these laptops, these tablets. We gonna pull these screens down here, and we gonna point them. We gonna get some maps out, and we gonna have class. We gonna have class. Part of worshiping God is studying to show thyself approved. There's some stuff that we gotta do. All right, man. I love y'all. So y'all might not like I said, if y'all miss me on that live tomorrow, I might be down for a couple of days. I don't know if it's gonna be 7 days. I don't know if it's gonna be 17 days, but we're gonna be down. I don't know. I know a lot of new people are coming over to Patreon, but I want everybody to know what's what and where. We're gonna come back and we're gonna come back hard. And we're gonna come back with a bunch of classes. But if y'all not ready for the classes, don't come. Don't just come into the class. Be led by the Spirit. Don't just come because you want to hear some stuff, because some stuff you're not ready to hear. I remember the pastor saying, I told that other brother, I know you like that brother, and he is a Christian or scholar that's on the internet, but you don't really need to start dealing with him right now. You're gonna confuse yourself. You're gonna confuse yourself. Know the stage that you're at. Don't just chase knowledge. Because a lot of believers, a lot of young apologists, they just chase the knowledge. They're like, man, you need to get back to that book. Find out about the divisions of that Bible and get in that book and get what you call it, because you're gonna start flipping your wig. Y'all know y'all scared to read Revelation and you already ruined the book of the Papriani. You already want to confuse, you want to mix that up with Psalms and no. Go sit down in the corner somewhere. Go sit down in the corner somewhere. All right, let me see if I can read some of this before I jump up out of here. I just want to let y'all know I love y'all. We appreciate y'all and everything. The support has been one thing I can say. This has been one of the craziest weeks in my life, but it has been one of the best weeks. Support is really up, brothers. Good words of encouragement from everywhere, everywhere. People, all type of bishops, apostles. We got regular ushers. I got Sunday school teachers, apostolic people. You know what I'm saying? I got Israel. Shout out to Israel. Like Bereen, you speaking up for us, and a lot of people from everywhere. And I know God is definitely doing something, and He's doing it, and He's not thinking about no one single denomination. But how are we going to move in what He's doing in this season? We definitely, one thing we got to put on the forefront of everything is discernment. Knowing Him and discernment, that has got to be to the very, very front. Because the devil's slicker than I can have ever imagined in my whole life. He's on another level. Remember, the bootleg spirituality looks so good, how so much of it crept up. And I'm surprised because grandpa, grandma, and them, all the pastors that didn't have seminary back in the days, they knew that wasn't right. Even if they couldn't articulate it, that ain't right. All these degrees, all this knowledge, all these big choirs, all this stuff, and we don't know our behinds from our elbows in the church. Oh man, I don't know. I can't read none of this stuff. I'm going, y'all. I'm gonna just get out of here. We got a lot to do. We got a lot to do. Y'all know what it is. $ Berean Teach. Like I said, we appreciate y'all support. Or jump on the Patreon. Jump on the Patreon. That's real good if y'all like to do that. Y'all can support with $3, $5, whatever. But I'm gonna let y'all know I'm gonna be down for a few days. I'm gonna be down for a few days. But when we come back, we coming back and we coming back with fire. We coming back with some fire, and it's gonna be heavy. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all.